can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. That's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're going to crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I made every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make. I pissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. Hell yeah. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that inch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. Hell yeah. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him. Hell yeah. That's a team, gentlemen. Hell yeah. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals. That's football, guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you gonna do?
You know what time it is, sir? It is the 2023-24 season preview. We go again. Game of Inches, EPL. Living and dying the 6 inches in front of your face. What a speech. We are back, baby. Another season. Let's go.
How we doing? How we doing? Another season. Can't believe it. When you are floundering in the EPL, it truly is hell. And this season, it's about chipping up inch by inch, play by play, game by game, day by day. Big season for Manchester United. Big season for Erik ten Hag. Big season for this pod. I think we're going to stack a piece of silverware after stacking last year, breaking the drought that's been going on for 6 years, ever since we started this wonderful podcast. And honestly, can't believe it. Can't believe it. Community Shield was today, and Manchester United is back next weekend. It's a big season. A lot of expectations. A lot still to be worked out. This team is still a work in progress, believe it or not. But either way, I'm excited for the season to get going. I'm excited to see the boys play at Old Trafford. Grudge matches left, right, and center. No easy games all season. We got Champions League football. We got FA Cup. We're the holders.
Got Arsenal in August.
We got the holders. We're the holders of the Carabao Cup, and we're going back again to stack it again. Maybe beat Newcastle in the final. But either way, big season ahead. This is the preview. How you doing, sir? It is hot as shit in the pod room today. It is officially summer. Might have to turn the AC on, but here we are. Rasmus Højlund, he is red and injured, but he's red. And how are we feeling?
Look, big season. The break was short. The preseason was long. Went to Dublin today to draw Atleti for whatever reason. Don't know why, but the Glazers needed some more cash, so we made that trip. Palestri with the goal at the death to draw. Regardless, we come back, and it's all about Wolves on Monday. A lot of players coming in. Onana. We had Mason Mount fever, now Højlund, who has a knock. We're trying to sell some players, but lots of work to do in the month of August. Transfer window closes, obviously, September, so Sofiane Amrabat could be coming in. Might be trying to get another striker after we see this team without one against Wolves. But another season, I'm nervous, to be honest with you. I just don't think United have done quite enough. I feel like we're kind of rushed. I feel like we're overworked in preseason. We're going to learn a lot playing Wolves. The first 6 games are critical, as always, but I'm a little nervous for this season. Just seems like too much going on, not really settled here for Manchester United.
Yeah, I can't disagree. The amount of work doesn't concern me. It's the amount of travel. We traveled a ton this summer around Europe before we headed to the United States, all around the States. We came back to Manchester, and then all of a sudden it's a quick flight from Manchester to Dublin. But even still, like, the cash grab can't stop. The money machine won't halt. And here we are just going game on game on game. But either way, we have a little bit of time. We have a week from tomorrow. We're recording this on Sunday. It'll be posting Tuesday. But we're a week out. We're playing the latest game of the game week 1. And I'm nervous too, sir. I think a lot of things are unsettled. Onana changes. Like, I rewatched the Lens game last night. Onana changes everything in terms of how we play. You know, he plays so far out of his box that the full team is pushed up like 10, 20 yards extra off the pitch. He obviously got chipped after Delo gave the ball away. But I think it's going to take some time for this team to start showing its true colors, especially with Mount. Right, he missed a sitter yesterday. He's going to get there.
It was behind him. It was behind him.
It was, but, certain players would score that goal. It's not important. It's preseason. But most importantly, work in progress. I think, like you said, it's like if you look at June, July, August of the summer transfer window, you would argue July would be the busiest we've had so far, obviously, because it's only been we're a week into August. But August should be the busiest month because we have a lot of players to sell. We have some buys to bring in. And we've done much fewer than we thought we would have done by now. I thought by now we would have at least sold a Fred, at least sold a Hendo. Hendo's deals seem to have fallen apart. It looks like they're going after the backup keeper at Arsenal, the American, and the Fred deal hasn't happened yet. So all these deals are kind of just dragging.
We're a terrible selling club.
Of course we are. We have a numpty front office. Paya brothers are sweating with us in the bunker. But either way, we have a lot of business to do, and it is It's the 6th of August. We've got 3-4 weeks left of the window, and we need strikers. We obviously signed Højlund, but he's not going to be enough. Even if he has a great year, we still need more because they have Haaland. City's got Haaland, but they also have Alvarez, and they have like 3 other guys who can effectively play striker because their team just passes it into the net. But all I'm getting at is it's a big season for Manchester United. Expectations are high, and we're still a work in progress. So I think I'm managing my expectations down. I think it'd behoove all of us to manage our expectations because we still have a long way to go.
That is a fair statement. And let's not forget, we're going to get a Glazer announcement on the sale, as well as probably a decision on Mason Greenwood before we kick off against Wolves. And this will be the last pod that we record. Until then, could have an emergency pod if the sale goes through or there's an announcement related to that. But a lot is going to happen. The game could be protests. Like, who knows what's going to happen. This is a big week for United and all United fans. But quick PSA for the podcast. If you like the America Red Devils and you like the For Fans, By Fans, Muppet Take, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/America Red Devils. It's a great way for you to support the podcast. Keep it ad-free. Tons of benefits there as well. Check out the page at the very least. Sign up if you want to support the pod and join the creme de la creme of the ARD community. Also, check out our website as well, AmericanRedDevils.com. Great fan-generated blog content, and our store. You can click on store there or go to AmericanRedDevils.store. Scarves, shirts, stickers, pins. We're getting our new scarves in as well, commemorating the EFL Cup win under our new manager. So that will be coming in. I will be keeping you guys posted there. You can also like and subscribe wherever you listen. And sir, tell them about reviews. They go a long way helping the podcast get found organically.
They certainly do. They help us get found by other top Muppets like yourself. And we're giving away free merch. All you got to do is write that 5-star review on iTunes, ideally, but also Spotify works, and send a screenshot to AmericanRedDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll personally pick, pack, and ship a free ARD scarf sent right to your door anywhere in the world. Here's a great one from 2THDMD. None better. Been a United fan since Cantona was in the team. Been a fan of this podcast since I stumbled across it a couple years ago. Great back and forth between the hosts. Love the bias fan take. Always a highlight when I get a notification that a new pod is up. Keep it up, sirs. Great stuff. Thank you for the great review. Thank you for everybody writing a great review. You mentioned it, sir. It's the 2023-2024 season preview. Jesus Christ, this shit don't stop. Never stop. My wife is thrilled. She's like, it's back. Oh, that's great. I can't believe how
I'm excited.
I'm pumped. I can't
I'm
wait to watch
buzzing
Manchester
for
United play. But the amazing thing is, they play so much football. It's ridiculous, these four guys. They play so much football. They had an international champion cup in June just for no reason. I guess because of money. And money always wins. But the amount of football that soccer players in Europe play is like astronomical. And it doesn't ever seem to be slowing down. So,
supply
so much to
and
look into that.
demand. Speaking of supply and demand, let's get to the transfer window. The ins, we mentioned them. Mason Mount coming in from Chelsea, £55 million up front plus add-ons. Onana, $45 million plus 8. And then Højlund coming in £65 million plus 10. Obviously, got rid of De Gea as part of that Onana deal. I think this is a huge upgrade. He is a boss. He says, I'm the big man at the back.
that.
He's
How
not
good
worried
is
about the
that?
criticism.
talk about that quote. That is like...
He looks to be a very good signing. I think chipping the keeper is going to be a new thing in this playing out the back phase.
Yeah.
Ramsdale almost got done in the Community Shield as well. So I think it's going to be a new thing where goalies playing high are going to get chipped. I think this is going to be...
That's a good
You got to
point.
check him a little bit.
That's a good point.
Regardless, Mount in preseason, I'm not that concerned. Some people are like, our fans are so fickle. They're already saying, hey,
So
Mount's no
fickle.
good. You got to give him time. You got to give all these players time to get the fitness and then see how the Ferrari is humming, so to speak. Out, Elanga, $15 million to Nottingham Forest. I think this is a very good deal. Tellus, £4 million to Saudi. Another good deal. Iqbal, €1 million. I didn't like that one. He was promising last preseason. Something must have happened. De Gea left on a free. Twanzebe, Philly Jones, obviously Sabitzer, Wout, and Butland as well, all on the outs for Manchester United. So far, so good on the transfer business. I would say the big surprise was the De Gea out, Onana in. That wasn't an easy deal to sort, right? You had to basically jersey your old keeper, rug pull the
Which
contract,
they
and
did.
then get a
they
new
really jerseyed them bad.
Champions League final goalkeeper in. So look, that was a big move. Højlund, also a big move as far as the price tag and what the young Dane could realistically accomplish given our need at that position. So grades TBD for the transfer window. I think as far as who else we get in is going to be critical, in as well as who else we sell. McTominay, Maguire, Fred, A lot of players on the block, like you just talked about. I have to judge the window once it's closed and we see what price we can get for all those lads or if we can move them at all. But every time we play Maguire, it seems like his price is going down.
Should have taken that $20 million for West Ham. We'll do a full review of the window once we close the window because you can't really give a grade on it yet. I think you made a good point. The quality of players we've gotten in, they are top quality. Højlund obviously is a project, but he has a lot of upside. Onana is a clear, I don't want to call upgrade because we love De Gea, and he was great at what he was great at when he was great at it. But Onana's play style, we just look totally different because he can play out the back, is super comfortable with the ball, pushes the entire 10 folk in front of him up the pitch. Mount will get there. He will get there. Off the ball, he looked terrific yesterday. He presses like an animal. The whole team seems to be pressing more, look really fit. I want him to score goals. And then Højlund, he's going to need time, right? He's coming in with a little bit of a knock. Erik ten Hag is pretty careful about bringing in his new players like we did with Casemiro last year. Same with Anthony to a certain extent. He takes his time to warm these guys into the league. He's going to do the same with Højlund, even though we are dying for a striker. Martial, where he at, bro? He's injured too. So, like I said, August is going to be huge. We got to sell players to buy players, but I still think, I can't believe there's no second striker that we're being rumored around. It just kind of blows my mind, but what do I know? I'm clearly not the DOF.
No, absolutely. And also, got a comment today quickly on the draw with Athletic Club. Clearly playing back-to-back games is not realistic to see a strong 11, but we did go out with Heaton, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Fernandez, Gore, Eriksson, Palestri, Donny, Forson, Jadon Sancho. Highlights would be Maguire making a horrid pass that led to the first goal for Athletic Club. Shout out to Ander Herrera, who was featuring for them and talking up United pretty big. He drinks Estrella by the cask.
He's not Spanish. He's Basque.
I mean, what a legend of the game. What a great song as well. Jadon Sancho didn't look too sharp, but Palestri looking pretty strong. I really like him carrying the ball forward. A lot of great progressive carries from him as well as getting the goal. Maguire did set that up with a header towards the end of the game. But look, you're seeing the B team really here. Different collection from Erik ten Hag, and this was a cash grab game. So don't need to focus on this one too much.
It's like the San Diego game, right? It's just literally...
It's fitness is what it is.
It's B- squad. It's B plus some kids.
But let's look at our squad as it stands right now, heading into the season. There's going to be a lot of movement here. Our goalkeeper, Onana, Henderson, Kovar, and Heaton. Clearly, Hendo should be on the way out. You got to be able to get 15 to 20 for him. Kovar is obviously
staying, sir. Not to interrupt you, but Dino could stay because Nottingham Forest was the buyer. They are going hot and heavy for Turner. Are there other people looking for an English keeper? Probably, but that seemed like the logical buyer. But we're going to have to keep an eye on that one, right? Because all of a sudden...
I mean, he's sort of a Judas character, talked bad about the club while he was on loan. Best thing to do would be to sell him. Also, there was rumors that he was the big leaker during the, I would call the dark ages under Rangnick. And, sorry for smiling, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Center back, we got Martinez, Varane, Maguire, Lindelof, Bailly, Evans, and Menji. You got two really good starting center backs and then a lot of mashed potatoes behind him. Lindelof, probably the third set center back. You got to deal Magoo.
He's a baked potato. Lindelof's solid. He's a solid backup. Magoo, I'll tell you what, Magoo, like I said, should have taken that $20 million.
You need 4.
Yes, you do. And Evans can't be the 4th.
Maguire's just a distraction and a liability.
Yeah.
Lindelof, solid third center back. But then is it really Johnny Evans who's 4th?
It can't be.
Eric Bailly, I've always rated him. I wouldn't mind if he stuck around, having 3-4 be Bailly and Evans, or Bailly, Lindelof, and then Evans sort of being the 5th slotted center back, but not strong beyond the first 2, and everything up in the air given how we're trying to sell Magoo, and we aren't linked to any center backs really in the news, so that's a little bit concerning. Looking at left back here, we have Luke Shaw, Malacia, and B-Dubs. B-Dubs have been rumored to be sold, but nothing moving there. Once again, selling players seems to be difficult for this team. I think Shaw and Malacia can get us through the season. Also, Alvaro Fernandez, I don't think he's going to feature really in the season.
He needs a loan. We're here in Burnley are interested in him as well as Luton Town. So he needs a loan, an EPL loan. I still think there's a player there, but he needs a whole season and lots of minutes, so he should not be playing in the first team.
Yeah, championship would be perfect for him, but he needs lots of minutes, like you said. Delo, Wan-Bissaka right back. This is the one is a world-class defender, one can get forward. Neither can do both. This is part of being a Manchester United fan. We really should have a world-class right back that can do it all. And we're kind of riding mid here with these two. I rate them both. Nothing against them, but when you're trying to compete with the likes of City and Arsenal and a lot of other teams coming up, having this position kind of be in flux between the two is not ideal, really. You like Wan-Bissaka and then like a world-class right back. So if you need to lock down, defend, you can put him in. I just don't know if Delo is that. We've seen glimpses. I'm hoping to see a lot more from Delo on the attacking front this season.
On paper, Diogo Delo looks like he should be the guy, right? He's actually well built. He's got speed. He is a
Great cross.
He's got a very good cross. Defensively, he's not elite by any means, especially when you compare him to an AWB. He's 24. He could still get better. I think this year is like you roll the dice on the two of them. Are any of them going to rise to the surface? I don't know. I think if AWB could get better going forward, not with crossing, but with those kind of diagonal inward balls, he'd be the guy because he's elite at one thing, and I don't think Delo is elite at either attacking or defending. But this is like at least we have decent coverage, and they're both fit. And I think we can kick the can because, like you said, left back.
I don't love that because
center backs were all over the place. But
I thought this was a big priority position. Pick one and then go sign a proper. If you look at where the league is, I know we just don't have the cash and there's too many priorities. Looking at midfield, different story here. Casemiro obviously leading the line. Scotty McTominay, Eriksen, Fred, Donny. Kobe Mainu featured, did great in preseason. Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount, and Hannibal. Hannibal probably going on loan. Kobe Mainu, hopefully he sticks around. Fred and McTominay and Donny on the block. Again, lots of these players we're talking about are actively on the block. Who's going to stay? Who's going to go? This is one of those things where we're linked to Sofian from Fiorentina. He might be coming in. I would expect at least one of these guys to go, switching him out. But a lot of midfielders, I felt like back in the day we didn't have enough. Now we probably have too many. Just need to upgrade in the midfield.
Yeah, you got to, I think we talked about it yesterday when we did a different pod. McTominay, he's the guy to keep around. I mean, he's still 26. He can play all over the pitch. He's homegrown. He's a unit. You got to sell Donny. He's never made it. He can't hang in the EPL, not even close. And Fred, he's not going to get better. Like when he's good, he's really good. And when he's bad, he's awful. So like I would try and sell him, get in a Rambat, sell Donny, maybe bring in that Moroccan that we've been linked to. And then obviously Kobe's going to be coming back in a couple months after his injury.
He looked very sharp.
He looked extremely sharp. It was a real bummer that he got injured in that third minute of the Real Madrid game. I think Hannibal's a player, bro. I think he has it. I don't think he's going to get the amount of minutes that he needs this season as a 20-year-old. But I believe in him. We should not sell him. Because he's got a dog in him.
Thrived on loan. I would argue the opposite.
He does better here.
Where you look at him, he looks a player. You saw him feature in the World Cup as well. He has dog in him, but I haven't seen it. Ahmad, you saw it on loan, and that's what you want to see. You want to see him prove it somewhere else, come back, earn the spot. But midfield up in the air, and we're gonna keep you posted. As far as attackers, Marcus Rashford, left winger, signed the thing. He's back. Jadon Sancho, trying to figure out what to do with him.
Make or break season.
Maybe he needs
Jadon
to go to Holland again for a couple of months, sort it out. Garnacho, really promising youngster. This is the one where I'm super excited about. He signed the thing as well.
19.
19. I think this is his season. Yeah. 10 goals. Need 10 from him. The right wing for Manchester United. This is the main problem. Antony on the right wing. Need a big season out of him this season. Diallo, Ahmad coming right in behind him off of that great Sunderland loan. He should be pressing, pushing for that starting position behind Antony because I don't think Antony basically put his mark on it just yet. Unfortunately, he got injured. But then Facundo playing well as... too many right wingers. Shoretire, he's not really going to feature. And obviously, we still have Greenwood on the roster, decision pending, which is going to come before Wolves. I imagine what we're going to get is Glazers staying, Greenwood staying, and just a lot of bad news
Deal
all
with
at
it.
once. And then they kick off the ball like 11:59 before kickoff. They're literally going to announce all this bad news. But regardless, left wing, solid options. Rashford, Garnacho. Striker, Anthony Martial and Rasmus Højlund. So thin. Right wing so deep, nobody can do it though. So United just all out of sorts, all out of balance in the attack. And this is just really unfortunate because if you take a player like Marcus, you put him at striker, it's not really doing him any good at the end of the day because he should have threats around him, opening up more space for Marcus, scoring more goals. I mean, that's literally what we need at Manchester United, what we've always had when we were winning leagues.
He could do the job, but he's not the best suited for the position given how good he is on the left. On the left, he is like literally world class. He can do a very competent job as number 9. He did it yesterday. He scored a nice goal. But on the left, he's insanely good. He just he stretches the defense. He gets behind. He uses his pace. But at the same time, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Alejandro Garnacho is ready to explode. He looked outrageous yesterday in the preseason game. I know it's preseason, but
Yoked up,
He has
ready to
he
go.
looks like fit, like you said, yoked up teeth. He got the new grills, and he has that your boy, bro. He's got a little CR7 in him. Just the swagger and the way he attacks the defenders and the way he's good on both feet and he's always going for goal. So I think we're solid on left. We're solid on right. We're thin at striker.
I wouldn't say we're solid on the right. I mean, the amount of goals we had from the
someone's
right
got to
wing
break.
from
Like,
Manchester United
Anthony's
was
got to
like
do
a
better.
joke.
Ahmad's hurt. I think Facundo, you got to keep him.
We have players.
Shortire, you got to loan. They're going to bring back Mason Greenwood. We'll talk about that when we need to. He was really good on the right, so he's going to be a Manchester United player because the Glazers are staying, which is complicated, and we'll deal with that. We have to deal with that. But I think ultimately, obviously no one has kind of grabbed the right, but at the end of the day, if we have Højlund emerge as our number 9 and Marcus on the left, well, guess who's playing on the right? Alejandro Garnacho is playing on the right, and
No,
because
you can't play him out of position either. He's got to play on the left.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do, bench
You're
Rashford?
gonna put Rashford in a striker. That's what you're going to put.
But what if you have Højlund ripping, scoring goals, Rashford on the left? You have to play Garnacho on the right because he's better than Sancho.
To start the season, it will be Garnacho and Rashford.
There are options, but there's creativity is going to be needed. That's all I'm getting at. And then Martial.
No, the main issue, and this is what a director of football should be looking at. It'd be like, we've blown hundreds of millions on the right wing. There's no production there. And this makes us lopsided as far as our attack. So everyone knows they need to lock down the left with Rashford there. And then if we move Rashford to striker, there's nothing coming. There's no threat from the right. We're out of balance. And the fact that we invested so much money on the right wing, it's so troublesome because we do need the pace out there. We need to be stretching defenses, and we're not doing that. So the issue with United is not scoring enough goals. That is the main problem. And when Rashford's the only one scoring them, it's easy to lock that down. And we saw that last season. But, sir, let's jump into the key themes from last year. Good transition before we jump into the fixtures. So the main themes from the takeaway on the stat sheet is we were second in the league as it relates to home games. We got 2.53 points per game. City 2.74. Our goal difference was plus 26. City was an insane plus 43, but we beat Arsenal on points. We had 48, they had 45. City with 52. We're 4 points behind on our home form. Old Trafford, fortress once again under Erik ten Hag. So encouraging to see this. The issue with United is we were a 5th place team, 1.42 points per game away, and our goal differential was minus 11. We got smoked away. We only won 8 games. We drew 3, lost 8 on the road. We're like Jekyll and Hyde, home and away. We have to fix the away form. This is one of the key themes for United, as well as the overall goal tally. But, huge difference, home and away.
Yeah. There's 2 sides to this, which is home is regaining its aura as a fortress. It hasn't been that way for a long time. That is exciting. You need that. You need to be able to consistency of going at home, getting a performance in, knowing the crowd's going to be behind you, knowing the boys are going to be confident there. Hopefully, that has to be a standard bearer. That has to continue into the season, and then we're not going to be the best team as of a week from now on the road, but we have to get up from 5th, right, and push that margin up a little bit so there's more room for error. Because Brighton can't be better than us. Fucking Saudi FC, Newcastle cannot be better than us on the road. And I don't know. I mean, it's goals. We also got blown out in a bunch of games, so maybe we need Erik ten Hag to like back off the gas a little bit when we're losing and just be like, okay, we got to pad the goal differential because
No, but lost
at that point
8.
I'm quit.
We lost 8. Newcastle lost 3 away. Shitty 4 away. Arsenal 4 away. I mean, you got to be really stingy with the losses. That's a big tally. 8 losses away. At home, we only lost once. I mean, we were an elite
Wasn't that
team
the first
at
game
home.
of the season? Was that the first game of the season?
We were an elite team at home. And the next theme would be conceding big. When we lost big. We lost the plot. We were rattled. The Liverpool game, City 6-3, Liverpool 7-1. That was away. Set piece defending, scoring from set pieces have been horrid at United. And also, 26% of our goals that we conceded were in the 76th and 90th minute. We conceded lots. The most amount of goals of any time during a match were at the end of a match. That is losing focus. Conceding set piece goals, conceding late. That is not Manchester United. We did all those things last year. Switching off. We were probably tired from the amount of games we played. But there's a little bit of discipline here. Crystal Palace set piece dropping critical points at a critical time in the season last season. So a few of these elements, we got to shut down shop, not lose big. We need to not concede on set pieces. We need to not concede late. We need to be scoring late. That is the United way, and I feel like there's a few themes that we have to carry forward. We've also, losing big has been the last 3 seasons, really. We've had those big losses to Scouse Bastards, City, etc. We got to stop that.
Especially when we're there.
Yeah, when you
It's
travel
going to
over England.
Liverpool, the Blaze was ripping, but the stadium after we got conceded on in the 4th minute, less of that. I like to think this team's getting more mature, getting to know each other better. The manager's getting to know the league better, and also I feel like nobody played more games than us, and nobody played more games and tighter turnaround than we did last year. We just had so many. We got fucked by the Queen passing rate. We had 2 of those games pushed. We might get a game pushed if there's a protest against the Glazers. I was just thinking, I was talking about that last time. I was like, if this comes out and it's not the news people want, they're doing a minority deal and they're hanging around the hoop for another 5 to 10. It's like, there's a very good chance the Wolves game does not happen on time, and all of a sudden you're on your back foot. It's not a good thing, especially if we want to protest the Glazers. Trust me, nobody hates the Glazers more than the 2 jabronis sitting in this room right now sweating their ass off. Like, we hate the Glazers, but at the end of the day, if you get a game postponed, you got to make up that game. There is no push.
No.
But that screws you.
The fans should protest.
They should
the,
protest,
The
but
biggest
have the
win
game.
is getting the Glazers out of this club. But
They
getting
don't
back
care,
to, the main concern I have is you look at our stats from last year, and if you're a director of football, that's just what they should be focusing on. The goals against 43, that's a good tally. Shitty only conceded 33. Arsenal conceded the same amount, 43. Newcastle only conceded 33, but you look at Scouse Bastards, 47. This is sort of in line.
solid.
Low 40s is fine.
Especially
from
considering the blowouts.
Yeah, especially considering the blowouts. If you're able to not lose 7-1, you're going to see that number go down even more. We had the most clean sheets in the league. That should also be said. So our defense was solid. We got rid of De Gea, who made some mistakes, but United legend nonetheless. And we brought in Onana. We should get better. We have Martinez back. Our defense should hold to that low 40s goals against.
Yep.
The real issue for United is the goals for. We only scored 58 goals. City scored 94, Arsenal 88, Newcastle 68, Scouse Bastards 75, Brighton scoring 72. But if you're looking at what we need to do in the offseason and where we need to be, if we want to comfortably be in top 4, we need to be in the 80 goal for range, really. That's what we need. To compete in the league, you don't need to be high 80s. So to go from 58 to 78, that's really 22 goals. Where are those goals going to come from? That's our main concern. Rashford scored 17 in the league last year. Can he score more? I'm going to say...
It's a lot of goals for a left winger.
That was his form picked up post-World Cup, so you could argue if he had that same form through the whole season, it could be more like 20, low 20s, maybe mid-20s. But you say, hey, Rashford scores the same amount. Bruno had 8. Maybe he can get to 10. That's an extra 2. Sancho, I'm not going to say there's going to be a significant improvement there. Antony had 4 goals in the league. He should be able to add 5 easy.
He should add double.
Garnacho had 3. He could add 5. And Højlund coming in, he could add 10. That's around 17, and you're getting closer to that low 80 number, but you're still in the 70s. This is my main point as the director of football coming in. Where are the goals? We know our defense is good. We shored that up, but we haven't made the attacking signings. United clearly need that. That's what we're talking about, Harry Kane. You sign Harry Kane, you're into the high 80s. You're into the 90s. You're competing for the title. When we say competing for the title, how many goals does it take to win the league? In 2022, is 94. In 2023, it was 94. 2022, 99. Liverpool had 94. Chelsea 75. United 57. We scored 57 goals in 21-22. We only scored 1 more in 22-23. I mean, this is what the director of football should be looking at, being like, this is why we're not moving up the table here. 2021, City scored 83. United, we had 73, which is like a good season for Manchester United. But clearly it's the goals for stat that is holding us back. And given what we've signed and what I just went through, you would need Rashford to add 10 to be able to compete for the league.
Which is not reasonable to ask him in the EPL to add 10 goals after a great season. That's where you need a number 9 that can score 15 goals in the league, like no problem. Obviously, Kane offers double that, and you can't expect him to come in and get 30. Maybe it'll be a little bit of a drop-off. But 25 would take you up to the 70, 80 goals, which is a huge difference maker. Højlund is not going to score 15 goals in the EPL next year. If
he does, we're in there.
Then we're in good shape. We're going to be in great shape. I would expect like 8 or 9 goals in the EPL, another 7 or 8 goals across the different cups. He'll get into like the mid to high teens, and that would be a very strong season for Højlund. So we have to give him time, but that's why I keep talking about, like, get in that where is he from? The Iranian striker that we were attached to a couple of weeks ago. We just need bodies that can put goals in the net, and it's like we need options because
who aren't named Wout.
Yeah, that aren't named Wout Weghorst, too. So even the Burnley fans are booing him. We need goals, and we don't have the goals. And Martial, this is his last season at Manchester United. He will not get a new contract, and he will leave for a free, and that will be that. And then they'll probably have more money to buy a striker next year. But even in the interim, like if you bring in a 30-year-old who Højlund can learn from, take some of the pressure off of him, keep him around, right? Because we're losing Martial next year. We'll probably sign another player. Who knows what's going to happen with Kane? Is he going to go to Bayern? Is he going to come to Manchester United? Is he going to stick around and sign another contract with Spurs? I wouldn't put it past him. He's kind of a numpty. You know, I could see him like signing a bumper deal. Like they give him $500K a week for 5 years. He might take it, knowing that idiot.
Well, the good news is, per the XG for all the players I just mentioned, all of their goal tallies were below their XG. So it's not like Rashford scored a ton of goals because he wasn't generating the XG. He was actually, plus 175. He had 18.7 XG. Bruno had 9.3 and only 8 goals. So there is some room to work there. Martial had 7.3 XG with 6 goals. If he could stay fit, could he hit 10? Maybe.
Look at the minutes. 987 minutes, bro. If he's fit, he scores goals. Like, he's useful. He just never. He had 4 different injuries. He had like a knee injury, a groin injury, a thigh injury. He's cursed. Some guys just can't stay fit. Like Philly Jones was the same way. Never could stay fit.
This is the issue with United at the moment. It's where are the goals, Lebowski? Where are the goals going to come from? This is what we need. This is what we should be focusing on. I don't feel like everyone's just talking about, we go again, da-da-da. It's like, look at the last 2 seasons. 57 goals, 58 goals. We should be clamoring for attacking players, the production we need. The defense, we're going to play out the back with Onana. That should make a difference, but we need to be focused on signing a striker, and we are going to be kicking off against Wolves, sir. Let's get into this schedule. It is going to be Monday Night Football. Everybody knows what that means. $12 p.m. kickoff. Manchester United at home against Wolves. Monday, August 14th. Nervy. Obviously, you and me went to the Wolves game towards the end of last season.
They're average. Yeah, they're a very beatable team. They're a good opener for us. Honestly, they're a team that I could see them getting relegated this year because the rest of the teams in the league have gotten so much stronger. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't like prepare for battle, right? Fight for every inch. We've been in hell. We want to get out of hell. And Wolves start with a big resounding win on the road. That's going to be super important because we got 2 hard away games in the first 4. They're going to be a real challenge. So massive match for Manchester United. I think we want to start the momentum strong because win, baby, win. That's the motto here.
I mean, this game is going to define United in many ways. It is at home, so we're going to be excited to be playing it. 70% chance for us to win it per Google. I don't know where they get that from, but we were heavy favorites. Wolves have fallen out of form. We will get you the Wolves preview coming up. But after that, we're going away to Tottenham, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, August 19th. Tighter turnaround because we're playing on Monday night. And then we're back home against Nottingham Forest. So the first 3, Wolves, Nottingham Forest, you should be getting 3 points from both of those. Tottenham, they got to be out of sorts with Harry Kane. Little walk-off clap. Hopefully he decides not to play, pull some end of the transfer window drama there for Spurs. You would love to get 9 out of 3 games, 9 points. But I have a feeling the bar's probably 7 here.
Yeah, I mean, the Spurs one's going to be tough. Nottingham Forest at home. That's a winnable match. We should be winning that match. And then first weekend, September, this is a big one on the road at the Emirates. That team, I've never met a team that deserved to get slapped around more than Arsenal and their fans. Like you would have thought they've won 10 Champions Leagues.
Well, they just won the Community Shield. They're
Gives a
pretty
shit
excited
about the Community Shield,
it.
bro. You know who won the Community Shield? Fucking David Moyes won the Community Shield. So that's how much it means.
No, I
It means fuck
understand,
all.
but it was a decent game. Ramsdale came up big for them. This is the marker. You can really steal one here. Hopefully,
Pep just gave
Casemiro.
it to him. Pep was just like, you can have it. He's like, I'm gonna win everything else. You can have the Community Shield for my boy.
Well, they need a little chip on the shoulder. The shitty going into the season. They're going to be like now super hungry to win the treble again. Look, this game is a big one. It's away. It's at the Emirates. It is early in the season. Hopefully, if we can get Højlund back, we can start well. Hopefully, Casemiro doesn't get a red card. As we recall, we owe them one. We probably should have beat them at the Emirates last year. I think all the players will remember this, but this is the one. You get battered by Arsenal early. You're bleeding out in September with a ton of games. Brighton back at home. This is a tight turnaround and a tough one. There's 2 weeks in between these games.
International break.
But Brighton is not going to be an easy match. Burnley away, September 23rd.
Turf Moor.
Then we got Crystal Palace at home, September 30th. They have been getting the best of us lately. And then we have Brentford at home, October 7th.
A lot of home games, which should help. 2 away ones. Actually, all 3 away ones are going to be tough. Spurs, Arsenal, and Burnley. Burnley is never easy to play. They're playing high-flying football under company, and they want to stay up. So it's going to be a tough run. These league games, man, they don't get any easier. It's like there's no gimmies. There's no Wiggins anymore. It's like every team comes to play.
But if you're trying to break this down into bite-size fixtures, you get Wolves, Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, then the transfer window ends. I think that is a kind start. Fitness is going to be way up by the time you play Arsenal. So I do think that we have to be in that game, but it is away. So if you don't get a result, it's not the end of the world. By September, mid-September, you're all in. We have our team. The transfer window's closed, and we got to be getting 3 points from Brighton, Burnley, Crystal Palace, and Brentford. I mean, this is when we got to be really on a roll. So it's a kind start for United, and that is the one thing that concerns me the most. Playing Brighton early at home, I think, is a benefit to us. Get the Arsenal game away. Last year we played them home early, and it was a little nervy. We end up getting the win from Antony coming in. Champions League going to be starting. The draw is going to take place August 31st. Spain will have 5 teams since Sevilla won the Europa League and finished outside the top 4 in La Liga. Obviously, we know the draw is rigged. We're going to get the group of death. That's how it always goes for Manchester United. And the group stage match day 1 will be the 19th and 20th of September. Match day 2 will be between the 3rd and 4th of October. Match day 3 will be the 24th to 25th of October. Match day 4, 7th and 8th of November. Match day 5, 28th and 29th of November. And the final match day will be the 12th and 13th of December, with the last 16 being mid-February and March. Quarterfinals, early April. Semis, late April, early May. And the final being on June 1st. This competition is going to be crazy because you got the group draw, which you know is going to be brutal for United. That's just how that's like written in the stars. PSG, Bayern,
We'll get some
Real
heavy.
Madrid.
We're gonna get one of the heavies.
It's just going to be like
One of the big
heavies, with some like frisky Eastern
Barca,
European
someone.
team. Like it's just going to be a rough one. But our manager, great at cup competitions, great in the Champions League. Ten Hag knows how to play this, so I have to think he's going to do very well in this competition for Manchester United.
Just a lot of games, and we're a little thin in the second degree in terms of players who just probably aren't up to it. But he knows how to manage. We can't burn it out too early. I think like we used up all of our mojo by the Carabao Cup final, and then after that we were kind of stumbling to a finish. Players were picking up injury. We had so many games. This season's gonna be more normal, right? There's no bullshit World Cup in the middle of it. But even still, there's gonna be a ton of matches. Injuries are gonna happen. Games will get moved because of who knows what. Stuff always happens. And you guys have to adapt, but the manager has shown an ability to adapt. But October, sir, we got some grudge matches. We got a bunch of grudge matches.
Sheffield United away, October 21st. Shitty at home. This is a big one. October 28th.
You would have gone, but it's the wife's birthday weekend, so.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, the fixture schedules and the wife's birthdays always end up killing us. But look, there's two games we could get embarrassed. The Arsenal away, that one you can't get embarrassed, and shitty at home, can't get embarrassed. Really got to focus on not getting embarrassed. You can lose, you can't get embarrassed. I hate how I'm saying that, but this team has to learn that when you're outmatched, you got to just pack it in. We got to manage the damage and just get on to the next one because it's a long season and you never know how things are going to turn up. November, there's only 3 games. We have Fulham away, Luton at home, Fulham away November 4th, Luton at home November 11th, and then Everton away November 25th. A little shout out to Thanksgiving there. December packed with fixtures, as everybody knows.
And tough fixtures.
Newcastle away December 2nd. Cold up at the time. That's going to be a tough one. Chelsea at home December 6th. That's a tight turnaround. Then we have Bournemouth at home December 9th. Scouse Bastards away
Revenge.
December 16th.
Revenge.
West Ham away December 23rd. Boxing Day, Villa at home.
Another tough
big
match.
game
Jeez.
for United, but Boxing Day, nonetheless, you got to be pumped up for that. Then
At
Nottingham
OT,
Forest,
which is great.
Nottingham Forest away December 30th, and then Tottenham Hotspur at home January 13th after a little break. Then we have Wolves away January 30th. So January, only 2 games. That's pretty reasonable. Then we have West Ham at home February 3rd. Villa away February 10th. Luton Town, this one you got to put on the calendar away February 17th just because the stadium is hysterical and the fact we're going to go be playing in this tiny Todd Stadium. And then Fulham at home February 24th. And then we get into March. March has 4 fixtures. Shitty away. That one should be big. Then we got Everton at home. Sheffield United at home on the 16th of March. And then Brentford away March 30th. April, 5 fixtures. Chelsea away April 3rd. And then the Scouse Bastards at home 3 days later. That will be interesting. Bournemouth away April 13th. We have Newcastle at home, another big game on 4/20. And then Burnley at home on April 27th. And then we get into the final run, 3 games in May. Crystal Palace away. Don't like that fixture in May. Going to need points for top 4 there.
Selhurst.
And then we have Arsenal at home May 11th. That one could have title implications. This is a game you got to circle on your calendar. That is very juicy.
Oof, Brighton
and then
away.
finishing
Oof.
Brighton away.
That's rough.
Look, it's a good schedule for Manchester United. There's a few sticking points. the Chelsea away April 3rd and 3-day turnaround to Scousebusters at home in the league. And obviously, we're not commenting on EFL, FA Cup, or Champions League fixtures because we don't know if we're going to get out of the group. And then ending with Crystal Palace away, Arsenal home, Brighton away.
That's a tough end.
I expect Crystal Palace to be a good team this year. Plus, just that Brighton Arsenal 2 gut punch to finish the season when you might need something is rough. And then starting with having to play Arsenal right away in early September after the close of the transfer window. That one is difficult. And then you look at December, Scousebusters, West Ham, Villa, Nottingham Forest, Tottenham. It's difficult. You play Chelsea at home, Scousebusters away, West Ham away, Villa home, and Tottenham at home, all in December. So December looking to be a pretty important month for Manchester United. Everything else, also Newcastle away. So December really is the make or break. We always say don't open the table till after Christmas. In this case, Newcastle, Chelsea, Scousebusters, West Ham, Villa, and Tottenham all in December with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fixtures.
Not including Champions League, not including
That's
Carabao
insane.
Cup.
And we're going to have a Champions League
Carabao
game, yeah.
Cup, which is going to get going in December. FA Cup's going to get going in January, February. So it's like the better you are, the more matches you play. We learned that last season. We almost played and advanced too far in too many cups. And let's go, baby. Look at that season. It always comes in bunches. There's always good streaks and tough streaks. We're starting with a pretty good streak. Then we hit like some really challenging matches in September, same in December, and then again in May. So, you want to be in
I like
momentum.
the start. I like our start through September.
Wolves at
August
home
and
is a good
September.
start. That's a good start. The end is a little more challenging. Away at Brighton at the MX is not going to be an easy fixture.
Yeah, but Crystal Palace at home, Brentford at home, Brighton
Burnley.
at home. I mean, Brighton will be tough, but not Wolves, Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Crystal Palace, and Brentford all at home. We play 5 games at home, 3 away to start. We got to start well. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. And like you mentioned, there's going to be tons of other competitions throughout the season, but it's going to be, I mean, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Like I said, it looks like we need goals or some things we need to clean up. We can't lose big. Ten Hag has his work cut out for him, but there's one team that I want to draw a parallel to before we start the season. The Scousebusters, the only other team to play arguably more fixtures than United was when the Scousebusters were going for the quad. They made it to the EFL final. They made it to the FA final. They made it to the Champions League final. We made it to Europa League, pretty far in the Europa League, but we didn't make it to the final. Regardless, Liverpool sucked the next year. So we went through all those games last year, and could there be a let-up? And oh, by the way, what the Glazers ordered? A healthy side of a nutty preseason with a ton of travel.
Insane.
It has to go with like how much can the body take at that point, I have to say. But just an anecdote, if people are saying, what the hell happened? Maybe it's too many games. Maybe we're going to recover. Who knows? Just something to think about, because the let-off for this Liverpool is real. They did get rid of Mane, though, so that could have been part of it.
They got rid of Mane. Their midfield got old. There's always let-offs. They thought they were going to win the quad. They didn't win anything important that year. Right? They didn't win the league. They didn't win the Champions League.
No, they bottled up into the games.
They play a lot. We played a shit ton of games, and I think that was impacting our finish at the end of the EPL, and it made it tighter than it needed to be. And then we finally got some breathing room as we caught some momentum in the last push. But it's a good point, sir. Is like
Liverpool came back at the end of the season, right? It could be because they were really tired to start. And then
so we could have that.
Back,
we could start rough. We could start rough.
That's
Right?
what I'm
No
saying,
Højlund. You get an injury all of a sudden, and then you don't get momentum going. They didn't get momentum going till December, till like right after the World Cup. So either way, sir. That being said, let's hear your hedgy finish. Predictions.
So before we get into predictions, we did a poll. We said, hey, where is United going to finish in the league? The first champions, 21% of the Muppets. I love you guys.
Appreciate you. 1 out of 5.
I
One out of 5.
You know what? Screw it. Like, let's
Proper
go.
Muppets. I like it.
Another 23% said second, 50% said third or fourth, and then 7% said Europa League, fifth plus. My prediction, look, I don't think we have the goals in the team. I think everyone's going to get better. Also, I think playing out the back, I think we're going to look back and say we're going to concede more than we did last season. Despite the De Gea errors, I think we're going to concede more goals just because we're playing a new style. Those two things is a transition year. Look, United have been yo-yoing. We've been yo-yoing for a long, long time. Played a lot of games last season. Look, I'm saying 5th. I'm going to say we're going to go back to Hans and Franz. We spent money, but not enough. We didn't get the difference makers to help us leapfrog the other teams. And there's going to be a lot of lessons here for our manager. But obviously, our manager will go nowhere. It will be a good season, just not enough given the current competition that we have. Chelsea, Scouse Bastards. I just think too many teams nip it at our heels. 5th place, tough one. I also sandbagged last year. It went well.
Classic
Sandbagging
sandbagger.
this year.
Classic
Hopefully it goes
sandbagger.
well. So my mind's telling me 5th, and my heart's telling me 21 times, but I'm going to go with 5th.
No truly unbiased fan can look at this and say, like, this team is positioned to win the league, unfortunately. We just don't have the goals, like you said. I think...
I mean, match one, Wolves, like, we're winning the title. That's my heart. That's my heart.
Did you
That's
listen-
my heart.
Did you
We're
listen
going.
to Any Given Sunday? I'm fucking pumped.
We're winning the treble,
I'm
baby.
amped up. We're winning everything. We're going to smash it. We're going to get 100 points. We'll never drop a point. We'll win everything.
Exactly.
Undefeated.
Invincibles. Yeah. That's my heart. Then we play Wolves, and I'm like, God damn
If we
it.
had Harry Kane, I think we go for the title.
Yes.
There's no sniff of Harry Kane at the moment. So right now, it's beginning of August. League finish, I think we finish 3rd or 4th. I'm going to call 4th because 3rd or 4th is a cheap prediction.
That's cheap.
So I'm calling 4th. I think we finish in top 4. I think the teams are getting better all around us. Every team that we care about has gotten better. City's gotten better. Arsenal got better. We got better. Liverpool got better. Chelsea got better. Villa got better. Brighton got better. So I'm calling 4th. I think it's a growing season. We don't have the goals. You need to have goals to win the league. We have a good defense. I think we'll actually concede fewer goals. There'll be some howlers, but I think our defense will continue to get better. I think the way Onana plays, like he'll have errors and we'll concede goals because of it. But I'm hoping we don't get blown out to the same degree we did last year because he doesn't look the kind of guy that deal with a blowout, bro. I am what he said. I am the big man. I don't think I am the big man can handle that. So in my mind, it ain't gonna happen. So 4th again, Champions League. But like you said, we're a top 4 team at the moment.
No, we need the Champions League. Yo-yoing's tough, but it's a tough league. Let's just be honest. The EPL is tough. It's only getting tougher. Next one, how far will Manchester United go in the Champions League? The poll, 20% go into the final. Love the Muppets out there. Semifinals, 18%. Quarters, 40%. And then round of 16, 22%.
Same 20%. Call the win, call the final. It has to be.
Hey, you
I
love this
it.
team.
I appreciate y'all.
Where are you on this one? Champions League finish for Manchester United.
I don't think we get out of the group. I think we finish 3rd in the group and get because that's just life.
Out of the group, going into the Europa League.
Nailed
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
3rd
yeah.
place. We're gonna get group of death when we play in like Real, us, Bayern, and then Sporting Lisbon. It's gonna be like ridiculous group. But that's going to lead to my trophy haul.
So,
but anyway, what do you got?
Regardless of that is offensive. Like, I will sandbag,
You
but
called
in
5th
no
place.
way.
Get out of here.
I will sandbag the league finish because I think the league is tough. Our manager is very experienced in Champions League and European football.
He's overperformed many times.
Look at the formations we're playing. The 3-6. This is all the stuff we go with our like 4-4-2. You play these crazy European like Dutch managers come with all this crazy stuff. We got one of those guys now. We're going to be elite in Europe. We're going to be playing, overperforming in the cup competitions.
Call it.
I think Ten Hag knows the drill. I think Manchester United, we're going to the semifinals. It's going to be a surprise because the Dutchman, this is his stage. This is where he shines. He overperformed with the Ajax team. I think United is set to play great in a cup competition, especially if we can get our boy Højlund on the mark. So, I'm going to say we're overperforming in the Champions League, but unfortunately, it does not get you Champions League football the next season. So, I am predicting strength here. Semifinals, Champions League, Manchester United, under the lights. Let's go.
Write it down. Trophy haul. What are we bringing in next year? Are we filling up that cabinet? Is the cabinet getting more silverware? Talk to me, Goose. What do you got?
I'm going to say goose egg. We are not winning a trophy
Speaking
this
of goose.
season. I'm just going to say no trophy this season, unfortunately.
No trophy. No trophy. I'm picking up something. We're picking up European glory in the form of Hans and Franz Cup, Europa League, baby.
But no, EFL, the back-to-back EFL
No,
champs is a
no.
nice ring to it.
It does,
you know,
but I see European glory. I see Thursday night football, and a final somewhere in Eastern Europe, maybe in Poland, and we finally make up for Gdansk. There you go. Another Europa League.
all right, best summer signing. What do you got?
Andre Onana, he's going to be the real deal. He's a game changer. It's going to change the entire way of how we play. There will be mistakes along the way for sure. There's less margin for error if the defense makes a big mistake like they did yesterday to Lowe, an innocuous ball that he gives away, and all of a sudden we're down a goal. But that being said, I think it's going to be a transformational signing. Mount, there's a lot of hype there, especially because he's English and he came from Chelsea. I think it's going to be hard for him to live up to that right away.
How dare you?
And Højlund, same thing, man. It's like he's going to need time. He's going to need more than a season probably to get up to this fucking league. This league is no joke. Who's your summer signing, sir?
I'm going to have a bit of fun with this one just because we're Muppets on the couch. And, you know, my summer signing, the best summer signing is going to be Harry Kane. Manchester United going in for Harry Kane at the death. Somehow we're going to lose
Yeah,
some
if we get him
deadwood.
in, I take that too. Yeah, he'll be the
Just-
guy. Go ahead.
We're going to sell some of that dead wood somehow. We're going to cobble together some cash. I think the Harry Kane things, he just clapped up the fans. I can't see him going to Bayern Munich. The only place he can really go is Chelsea or United. He wants the English all-time goal-scoring record. It's going to come down to who wants to. I don't think Poch would want him. I think United, you're not hearing anything, which is strange on the attacking front.
Anything.
I have to think
Anything.
that kind of Harry Kane's been on the radar. It wanted him last year. We wanted him earlier this season. United are interested. We are, if it's going to go for 70 million, 80 million, there's no way we shouldn't be in for him. Especially if the Glazers stay, this would be a one to give the fans red meat. Type
definitely
of
true.
win the plebeians back, win the crowd back.
crowd.
I could see it all going with the Glazers staying. We're in for him late. Harry Kane pushes for the deal, signs at the deadline. Now, if he does sign, I might need to adjust that league. I will
If we
adjust the
finish
league
fifth.
finish.
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
not finishing,
I
no,
would
fifth.
I would say more like second.
Yeah.
But we would be in a race. But I'm going to say best summer signing is going to be Harry Kane.
Love it. Can't wait to see Harry Kane. So let me guess. Player of the season, is it?
I can't see him going to Bayern. That's
Imagine,
not
I was
happen.
just thinking about it. Imagine his ass speaking German, bro. You imagine Harry
Like,
Kane speaking German in Bavaria?
No, he does. He's so English. He like beans and toast for the
Exactly.
till he dies,
Yeah,
bro.
Exactly. Lederhosen. I can't see Lederhosen Harry Kane, but hell, a lot of shit's happened.
Player of the season. Who do you got?
Could have been
easy.
it. Could have been it last year if people in front of him could score goals. He needed to score a couple more goals, hit the post a lot. It's Bruno Fernandes. He's the man. He's our captain. I think he's going to grow into the mystique he needs to in terms of professionalism and being a little less hard on the players around him while finding that balance, trying to drive everybody. I think he's the guy. I think he's gonna get a lot more assists because people in front of him are gonna score goals, and I also think he's gonna contribute more, and we're gonna see that proper captain, shine through.
Player of the season's got to be Marcus Rashford. You know, if we want to do well, it's got to be.
I thought it's Harry Kane. Should be Harry Kane. If we sign Harry Kane.
No, but that was like a Muppet take
I
for
know,
one
I'm
category.
fucking- I'm
Now
fucking- you can't go
I'm
all
in
Muppet.
the
top goal scorer, Harry Kane. Most improved, Harry Kane.
now I'm in the back to reality. Harry Kane's not on the team. Player of the season is going to be Marcus Rashford. It has to be. If we're going to be chipping up or winning anything, it's going to be him. So I'm obviously cheering for Rashford, and I'm going to break in a top goal scorer again. Marcus Rashford. I think who else really? Like you said, Rashford had 17. Bruno had 8 in the league. He's in another tier, and obviously Højlund. It'd be hard to be catching Marcus, but I feel like Marcus needs some help. So if we can have our right winger score goals, if we have Højlund score goals, I just don't think they're going to take goals away from Marcus. So I think he's going to be our top goal scorer. Who do you got?
Yeah, I have to agree, right? Even if Højlund has a great year, he doesn't have to break 17 goals or do what Rashford did. And there's no saying that Rashford will do the same thing he did last year, but I think he'll continue to score. He looks like a different player. And he's the guy. It's like, who else is scoring double digits in the league? I don't see anyone. I mean, maybe Bruno with some penalties. We didn't get very many penalties last year. But either way, yeah. So, and then most importantly, sir, who do you think will be the most improved player in the squad?
Garnacho. I think he's going to be close to double digits in the league. The question is, how do you use him with Marcus? Does Marcus come to 9 more? I think that's probably, he's just going to be so good on the left. Marcus coming in. Also, Garnacho coming off the bench. Marcus moving to 9. Another great option as well, especially as Hoyland has to get up to fitness. We saw that work, especially that great goal that he got in City. His pace off the left is just, we're better with him on the field, and that might make Marcus move to number 9, but it's good to be Garnacho. This is his season. He's got the teeth. He's got the hair shaven, lightning bolts in his eyebrows. The kid's the real deal. Let's go, Garnacho.
Well, since this is a Muppet podcast, I can't pick the same lad you picked, even though Garnacho would have been my sniff at it. So I'm going to call it the other player on the other wing. It's Anthony. He's going to start living up to that price tag. Your least favorite player, Bluffer FC, as John calls him. I think he's got it. He had a nice assist yesterday. Decent goal, heavy touch, but a decent goal nonetheless. He should have scored double the amount of goals he did last year. I think he can hit. I don't think he will, but if he does hit double digits, he'll be my most improved in the league. 10 goals. I'm not betting it. I'm not betting shit. Don't even look at me.
So you gotta give me like $20 every time he curls it past the far post.
What happens if he sticks it? You owe me 100?
Yeah, exactly. It's just what? Look,
a lot of high and to the left, a lot of wide left.
Most improved Ahmad. Someone's got to earn that spot. Anthony struggled last season, and we talked. You look at what did Malacia do for Luke Shaw? What does having a good player coming up behind you do to a player? So maybe to get the best out of Anthony, Ahmad coming in and doing some magic. I think Anthony, it was like out of shape Sancho wasn't really pushing him to be better.
No, it's true.
I always feel like if you're in a race or you're doing if you're biking up a hill and you have someone on your heels, you're going to be given that extra effort. And I feel like maybe that's exactly what Anthony needs. Healthy Ahmad nipping at his heels, trying to get his position. Might see some more dog out of him. So look, I don't disagree. I just think we need somebody fighting for that position, because that should be a very coveted role at United. At least 10 goals coming off the right wing. You look at Rashford with 17. Imagine if we had half that on the right. We'd be much better off. We didn't do fan questions, but we did a different question. What would you consider progress this season under Erik ten Hag? And we can address this as we discuss kind of where we think the team will come out. At Daniel D29812166, quote, competitive games against the top clubs, beating shitty and Scouse bastards both home and away, and not losing to bottom table clubs. Remember when Fergie had such a deep bench that he could rest some of his players against his lower teams and still clobber them? Good times. I think he's getting at a great point. We need to be competitive and not embarrassed against the big teams. Like the 6-1 that turned out to be 6-3 in garbage time against Shitty. That was rough. The 7-1 against Liverpool. I think we need... And also the Newcastle getting dusted away in Newcastle. Just run off the pitch. I really think it's just have that fight, have that dig. It goes against you. We're still fighting. Even if you might not win it, you got to show that you're competitive in these big spots and these big games, because you can't just lay down. I feel like United have to get that out of our system this season. So great point.
100%. Right. We have to close the gap with the top teams. The top team is City. Then it's Arsenal, but Liverpool, they're coming back. Chelsea's going to be coming back. I don't even know all the players they've been signing. They sign like a new player every 2 days, somebody you've never heard of. So closing the gap with the best teams, closing that margin, the inches, they're everywhere. We need to tighten the gaps everywhere so we have no loose holes. Everybody's got to do better, even the top players, even Bruno, even Rashford, even Casemiro, even Martinez. Everybody needs to play better, because this is the most competitive league in all of sport. This league is insane, bro. They're like the bottom teams spend more money than the top teams in other top 5 European football leagues. So it's not like anything else, and it's going to keep getting more and more intense and more intense. So it's like there's no room for error. Everyone's got to be pulling weight, including the backups. So I'm excited. Can't fucking wait.
At Randy Scrandy L, quote, Premier League title charge and at least a cup double. How can we measure any progress if we aren't seeing better results than the season prior? I mean, look, this is a good point. We were very close to the title race. There were on the margins. There was that Arsenal game without Casemiro, where at one point we had the best midfield in the league. Running Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno were lights out. We're going to the Emirates. Casemiro gets suspended. Then that late winner, there it was on the margins. Title race was there. The improvement would be being in the title race January, February, fighting with Shitty and Arsenal. I do agree that is improvement, and obviously winning more than we won last season. I mean, this is Manchester United. We are hungry for trophies, sir. Thirsty for signings. That is how we do.
Yes, I would like a cup double. I would take a cup single. It depends on the cup, right? And all cups are created equally. You don't want a Europa League and a Caribou.
As long as
cup.
we don't have to listen to Hans and Franz.
It's coming back,
you
bro. It's
suggesting
coming
that
back.
is
It's coming
like,
back, bro. It's
I'm
coming
offended.
back.
I'm
It's coming
offended
back.
by
It's coming back.
At AB_man99, not getting slapped around every time we're away. Great point. Got to improve the away form. We just discussed that, how the stark contrast home and away. At WW Whiting 48, easier time being top 4 with a nice deep run in the Champions League. Show that will be favorites for next seasons. I like this one, like not having a nervy top 4 race plus chipping in the Champions League, kind of flexing some muscle there. I'd really like to see Bruno with some great passes with Rashford, some momentum, some confidence. You could see it. You could see it. And I think everyone would enjoy that. Some wind at our back. At Rolling the Deep 1995, at least a trophy, round of 16 Champions League, and a close top 3 finish. Less than that, and the season will be a bit of a failure. Do you agree with that? Trophy, getting out of the group, and third. Is it failure if you do not do that? Because last season we won a trophy, got third. We overperformed last year, and this is the problem when you have a manager like Ole overperformed and got the second, and then it was like we regressed big time. And so what we've seen at United was when you kind of get that second and you get that third, how do you do the next season? And we haven't seen someone really improve, so we're hoping Ten Hag can take us to that next level, right?
Yeah, I think like just calling it a trophy and round of 16, like who we playing? Who do we have to get through? What trophy is it? I think we just want to see progress in the team, scoring more goals, conceding fewer goals, more consistent gameplay from start to finish. I want to see better ability for the second team to work their way up and push people to their best. And obviously, we want to win silverware. Obviously, we want to challenge for the title. I don't think we'll be challenging for no title anytime soon, unless we get Harry Kane at the end of the window. But we should be going for another cup. We should be pushing the Champions League, at least trying to have a run of it. And I can see us
making top 4, right? I mean, those are
and
really
finishing top 4.
expectations.
It's very important to finish the top 4. The money matters. The money matters a lot, and we can't act like money doesn't count. It matters a lot, and at the same time, it allows you to continue to attract the best players, right? And Andre Onana probably doesn't want to join a Europa League side after he plays the Champions League final. So, like, it is important for morale to bring in Mason Mounts and Onana's. And Højlund probably would have joined us even if we were playing in the Championship because he loved United so much. I think you're going to be like,
join if we were in the Championship.
Sorry, you are not available. You're not welcome. They don't want you.
I got a bum knee.
Just because you could beat Wout Weghorst in a 40 time doesn't mean they need you. Because Wout Weghorst
call me.
Ain't no good, bro.
Call me.
Ain't no good.
I'm available.
I'll tell you what, we're going to play Wout Weghorst in Burnley. That's going to be great. You're going to see the big horse just trotting around the pitch, trotting around.
No, I think the consensus from what we heard from the fans and what we're talking about on the pod is third place, top 4, in the mix.
Silverware.
Don't get embarrassed, right? Don't have those big elves that you got to eat with salt and hot sauce. Try to win a cup and get out of the group in the Champions League. That's what fans are looking for. And I don't think that's unreasonable given £400 million spent under our new manager with quite a bit coming this summer. But there's a lot to play for. There's a lot left in the window for the director of football to negotiate and try to sell. So let's hope we get Harry Kane at the death. I'm crossing my fingers. And even more importantly, getting the Glazers out of this goddamn club. Quick check on the bookies. Odds to win the 23-24 Premier League. They got us in the top 4. Man Shitty, big favorites to win, minus 138. If you don't know that, you're paying them money to win.
Which
Arsenal,
is a bet.
you're getting 5 times your money, plus 500. Scouse Bastards, you're getting 8 times your money, plus 800. Vegas is expecting the Scouse Bastards to come back after a rough season last year. United are 4th, plus 1,100, but it gets interesting because Chelsea right behind us with plus 1,200, Newcastle plus 14, and Tottenham
4,000.
4,000. So people are expecting Tottenham to be bad. I think the market has it that Kane is going to move. That is why they're so far down the list. But if you look, it's really the Manchester United, Chelsea, razor thin odds difference between them for that fourth spot. That is what the bookies are saying. That is probably where we could be.
Bro, the odds, the margin between Arsenal in second, Liverpool in third are closer than the odds between Arsenal in second and Manchester City in first. It's like they're saying they're going to blow out everybody and everyone else
again.
everyone's going
Four in
to
a
play
row.
for second, third, and fourth, which probably will happen. City are a machine, literally like a perfect side, and then they just signed an $80 million defender when they have...
Honestly,
how many
Arsenal
center
bet-
backs they got, bro?
The Arsenal and Liverpool bet to win the league, those two are actually like pretty good for your money. And the only reason is because everyone's
Scousers are
just
more likely to win the league.
It's
than-
because the
than
money's
Arsenal
on
are.
City. It's buying down the odds.
Yeah, well,
At a
that's
certain
true.
point, but Arsenal is not 5 times less likely to win the league than City.
Where the
It's
goals
probably-
come from. If Nunez has a good year, like their midfield's going to be really good. I could see the scouts. Dude, they have Klopp. He's still a great coach. I don't think
He's a
Arteta's
maniac.
anything. I know he is, but you need to be a maniac. You don't think Pep's a maniac?
Looking at the Champions League odds,
Plus 200. Plus 200.
Shitty to win again, top of the list, plus 200. Bayern Munich plus 700, Real Madrid plus 900, PSG plus 1,000, Barcelona, Arsenal, and then United plus 1,600. So United down the list, but still in the top 7. That would suggest we get out of the group.
It would.
So that's encouraging as far as who's in the Champions League and, group stage. I said semifinals. I think our manager, this is what he's good at, is playing European Cup competitions, and let's see it. I'm absolutely buzzing for the season to start. I can't wait. I'm optimistic about the squad. I think we're going to add. I think the transfer window isn't over. That's the craziest thing, that it just ends in the middle of the start to the season, but what a year, sir. What would you, if you could describe your feelings in one word for the start of the season, how are you feeling?
Nervous. I'm always nervous. I love this team. This team matters too much to me. I'm too emotionally invested. It's like pseudo religion. At the end of the day, I am like Daniel Plainview in There Will Be Blood, sir. I want everybody else to fail but Manchester United. The only thing I want is Manchester. I hate every other club. That's why I hate all this Wrexham bullshit. All I care about is Manchester. I have no feel good for other clubs. I care about Manchester United and Manchester United only. And I will watch everybody go into the rubble if it meant United going back to the promised
Yes,
land.
win
That's-
every league. Yes,
I don't care about any.
agree.
I want everybody else to fail, and I want United to succeed. But I'm nervous, man. I'm always nervous because the league is really hard, and we did overperform last year, so there's room to underperform. And you know what? All the great managers that have come in the last decade plus to the EPL have had a second season slump. Klopp dipped, even Pep dipped. We're due for a dip, especially with how Liverpool were a non-entity until the end of the year. Chelsea were 12th fucking place, and then they spent how much money?
I think Klopp was like, I think Klopp had a bad first season, then he had a great second. It's not all, but United definitely.
There's
are
always a
yo-yoing,
dip. All I'm
and
saying is there's
a-
always a dip for even the best managers. So
No,
I
but
think
we
we're due for-
overperformed last year.
Exactly, so we
and
should
any time we've overperformed historically, the next season we've underperformed.
What's your one word? What do you?
My one word is goals. I am thinking about scoring goals. It could be goals or attack. I think you saw preseason weren't easily scoring goals. Last preseason we were, and even then we struggled. This preseason, I think, who is going to be scoring the goals? I'm very concerned about our attack. I think we have a solid defense, and it's all about, can Rashford hit 25 in the league, really? And that's all of our hopes right now, and let's hope we get insert veteran striker here from China at the end of the window. I think that guy hopefully can save us or reduce some pressure on everyone else we have. I mean, like, I take Zlatan out of retirement, honestly, at this point. We need somebody
He's
who
done.
can...
Didn't he call it?
No, I know. He retired.
I
Come out of retirement, come back to United. and we
Gallo
need
from the Saudis. He's playing Saudi Arabia. He's the most... I love Gallo because he's like, bro, we ain't playing for passion. We're playing for money. He's like, let's be honest.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Good
dude.
hold up.
Love a good Nigerian.
Great play.
Nigerian United player. He was always proud, dude. He was like a great dude. Humble, hardworking. Miss him.
But
Miss
look-
our over 30 strikers, sir.
But look, that's it. That is the podcast season preview in the books. You heard it. Game of Inches.
Officially hot. Officially hot in the
We
pod.
are
I'm
sweating. It's like, I think, 90 something outside, sir, and no AC room, windows shut, so you get better audio. That's how we do it here at the podcast, sir. You like this podcast, support us on Patreon, patreon.com/AmericaDevils, AmericaDevils.store. AmericanDevils.com. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. Anywhere you listen to this podcast, it helps. It goes a long way. Sir, give us our top 10 cities last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? How you doing? Chicago, Illinois, New York, Atlanta, Georgia, Los Angeles, California, Manchester, England, Seattle, Washington, Dublin, Ireland, Austin, Texas, Oslo, Norway. We've got the internationals are back, baby. That means the season's about to start. Last but not least, Philadelphia, PA. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do without you. Big season ahead. We can't wait. We're going to be with you every step of the way. But in the meantime, what do you got? You don't like my song?
I mean, like, we need to end with a foundational,
Go ahead.
foundational song here. Alex is just trying to give this boy Wayne Rooney a shout out.
He
Look,
deserves
it's going to be a big season. Get up for it. Everyone have a great week.